only took them 2 weeks. How long that shit was in the shop? 2 weeks. What they had to do to it? What they say was the main problem again? Bro, my goddamn my SUV, the Equinox, bro, that shit started like it want to overheat. When I'm at when I come to a stop and the engine running, like, so if I'm at a stop sign or a stoplight, boy, the motherfucking temperature gauge start going up. So I was like, okay, maybe I just need some coolant. So I put some coolant in that shit. And then the next day when I drove off, I noticed the body control module. Damn. That seemed like some intense ass shit, man. But so I put some fluid in my joint, and I noticed I was spotting. I'm just leaving puddles of that shit everywhere. It's like as soon as I pour coolant in that shit, the shit pouring back out. So I took it by a shop yesterday, and they looked at it real quick for me, and you know, and the one dude was like, bro, your goddamn water pump gone. Yeah, the whole computer to make the brain of the car. But I hate these damn cars, man. But damn, so I went and picked the water pump up. It's a $60 part with a lifetime warranty on it. And the dude told me to bring it to the shop. He said bring it to the shop like 9 o'clock in the morning. So hopefully I'll be in and out in one day. Hopefully. Cause I need the truck to move my art. That's the main reason I got the truck, so I can move my art around. ADB radar or reader, what? Oh damn. Well, my shit, that truck's so old. I don't know. Well, it's a it's a 06. I think they started that computer that computer shit with like the last set of the 90s cars, like I think like 97, 98 is when you can start hooking up those computer things, the scanners. I think anything older than that shit you don't even got no connection for that shit. But since my shit is a 06, you can definitely read that shit. I don't need that shit, man. I actually looked up water pump replacement, and the mechanic was showing. He was like, "Oh, do this, do that." I'm like, "Okay, that's easy, that's easy, that's easy." Then they got to one part where he's like, "You gotta release the tension on the fucking the spinner so you can get the serpentine belt off, and like you gotta have a special tool for that shit." And then I was like, "I'm good." It started in 06. Okay. I know like that car is like right on the edge of like being a modern car and being an old car. That's what I tell you. I got an old car here. That shit old, man. That shit about to be about to be 20 years old. Trying to make me cough. Yeah, that serpentine belt started getting loose. Give that little whining sound. You hear that little whine every once in a while. You already know that belt slipping a little bit. I hate car repairs, man. That's $60 for the part, and then you gonna charge me like $1.50 to put that shit in. It's $200. Gone. You know I gotta deal with that $200. I could have brought an ass of fucking steaks and hamburger and shrimp and lobster and had a motherfucking feast. So no Cadillac should ever sound like that. You just hear that shit coming down the block. That's how my old Hoop ride was, yo. When that bitch start up, that shit start up loud. You gotta give it a minute to idle down. Like, idle down, motherfucker. Calm down, man. You just warm. You gotta give you a second to warm up. Goddamn. But we not materialistic, Puff. We like nice shit, but that shit don't run our life. I hold on to my old shit until it can't work no more. I don't always gotta have the newest of the newest of the newest shit. I like nice shit, and I'll take care of my nice shit as long as I can have that shit. As long as this motherfucker keep me going from A to B, I'ma hold on to that motherfucker. But when I do replace it, I'm gonna replace it with a Lexus, y'all. I'm gonna get the Lexus RX and get an old one of them. Just get like a 2009 or 2010 motherfucking Lexus RX for a couple grand and get one of them shits for like $5,000-$6,000. I just need to start saving up for that bitch now. Matter of fact, damn, it's Friday. I meant to put $50 on the stock. I had a busy day at work today though, I ain't gonna lie. But normally on Fridays I try to throw $50 on the stock market. Extra bills, bro. Extra bills. You got a brand new expensive car, and your repair is gonna be expensive, and your insurance gonna be expensive, man. All that shit just liabilities and bills, man. Screw that shit, man. I'm good. I already went through my little fancy, flashy phase. That shit ain't earned me no more respect, no more friends. It didn't educate me anymore. Being flashy and fancy, that shit not for me. I'm good. Facts. That Nvidia, man, yo, Nvidia, they gonna be killing it with all the fucking computer shit, man. I did get some Rumble stock, and yo, Ford doing bad, man. I had got some Ford. Cause Ford pushing for their new EVs, and that Ford Mustang is really popular, yo, and I don't know, people still love the Ford, yo. F-150 is an unbeatable truck. But they not doing good. I'm gonna hold on to that shit though. But Nvidia, I think I'm gonna keep investing in Nvidia. Don't chase stocks. I ain't chasing. Well, yeah, 6 months ago, nah, I probably got some. I only got one share. That shit was like it was like 2 months ago, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. Cause I was just watching one of the CEOs or whoever, some big dude from Nvidia started talking about what they trying to do. I'm like, oh, y'all about to motherfucking keep pace with shit. Let me go ahead and invest in some of this shit, man, because they making all the chips and all the graphics cards and all that shit, yo. Yeah, that's where I should have been buying when all the stocks was doing bad. When motherfuckers be scared to buy. You gotta buy low, sell high, man. Buy when that shit low. As long as you don't feel like that shit about to tank all the way the fuck out, somebody about to go bankrupt. Now what's that shit is? An IPO or some shit? I be trying to look at them shits. She sold off her Nvidia stock? Fuck. I might. Not Pelosi selling her shit, bro. They say there's like there's a Twitter page that just follows what the Pelosi's invest in and just have motherfuckers do what they do. Yo, Elon Musk changing Twitter to X. He was like, yo, I don't want the bird no more. I don't want the name. It's different now. It's a whole different thing now. I'm showing my man some of my Mid-Journey stuff. didn't it? I'm trying to save this shit in my photos. What the hell? It didn't save. Yo, where? I see what I was doing wrong. Yo, what's up, guys? So I'm sending my man, my homie asked to see some of my mid journey stuff, but it's weird how you gotta. I thought I could just hold and like save the picture from here, but you gotta actually click on it, bring the picture up, and then you can save it right there. I'm trying to find this. Yeah, there's this one drawing that I seen. I can't find this shit no more. stump your Nvidia. What you investing in now, man? Yeah, I gotta figure that shit out, man. I got a stock. I think it's like the Yahoo stock page on my computer. I keep the tab on there now, so like every at least every other day I do try to check it and read some analysts and see what the fuck is going on and trying to understand this shit, man. Because I need more investments than my 401. I need more investments than my 401k for retirement. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to retire early, bro. So I got to do something. Hey, I ain't even got 80K to invest, man. I got a couple bucks, bro. I don't even invest thousands a week. I invest dollars a week. Like just dollars, not thousands of dollars. I'm gonna get to that point where I can invest thousands at a time, but I'm slow walking it. Cause and puts amplify, I feel you. That shit'll go way up, and then you don't pull that shit out, then they go way back down. Like, damn. Alright, so I need to do like that last little piece of shirt right there, and then this shirt, I'm gonna come back and detail it one more time, but there ain't too much left on that. And then we can start on this pants. You know what? I was gonna fuck around with this beat for a minute. Yeah, I heard this beat album today. I don't know how my homie found it, but he posted that shit on Facebook, and it just looked like a cool album. And then it had 843. It said Hype 843, and I'm like, is this somebody from South Carolina got an album and mixed out? Let me try to find this shit. Somebody from South Carolina, and then it's just beats though, but them shit's hot, yo. Whatever, Puff. That's us. Yeah. Okay, Puff. This shit says Hype Man 843, Tunnel Vision, Volume 1. Records DK. No, that's why I immediately looked for the album to listen to it. Soon as I seen 843, I'm like, wait a minute, let me check this shit out. Who the fuck is this? Cause yeah, that's us. That's our shit. I thought you meant like, yeah, you helped produce this shit. But this shit is hot, my guy. But yeah, I don't know who it is. Like you can't. It just says Hype Man, and then like from the iTunes, like you can't really see more than that. Like they ain't got no name on that shit. Yo, there's one beat. I'm gonna get copywritten. I think I can only listen like 25 seconds or 30 seconds or something. Yo, but there's one beat on here, bro. I listen to this shit all day today. Listen to that shit all like on my lunch break, a little bit while I was typing up some lesson plans. I was listening to that shit. Then on the ride home, I was listening to that shit. Is so hot. I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this? Wait a minute, who is this? Hype 843. Traffic, the name of this track is Traffic Accident. Yo, this motherfucker ate the fuck out that beat, bro. And then it's all like, so it's called Hype Man 843. It's Tunnel Vision. So it's info, it's all about driving or something to do with like being in a car or something. So it's the name of the album is Tunnel Vision. That's like you're really focused, or you can be driving through a tunnel. And then it has an intro, and then the track number 2 is Traffic Accident, And then it's time of arrival, switch lanes, cruise control, highway number 1, exit 86, detour, and destination. That's the whole track list. Try to look them up on SoundCloud. Georgetown, United States. I'm upside down because, like my beats, I'm weird. I've been producing for 17 years with no plans of stopping. Please email me at Brandon L. Brown to purchase beats. Be the same person, but damn. Even on here, there's not a lot. He doesn't have like a lot of information about himself. So it's like it's hard to know who to do this. But like that album though, that shit is phew, man, foo foo. This shit hot, bro. Got some nice shit, man. Hot little album.
In the hate, but I be creating with hate. Ain't no way we can miss. Ain't no way we can miss. Ain't no way we can miss. Can't put a grade on my shit. That should be a shame of y'all list. Plus, I put some pain into this. I put my veins, blood, bone, soul. I put my brain into this. Y'all moving brainless. And they say to be famous. Hey, I'm a magician. You should listen. It's never the same tricks. 2020 when we did the first one.
Man, bro, that Nas shit, bro. Woo, shit, man. I've been burning that bitch up too, yo. I done burnt the hell out of that Nas album. I can't stop listening to that shit, man. I know you probably be able to find it, but what? Really? The old heads, man. You can't, man. Look, man. Nas is 49, and he dropped 5 albums in 3 years. Rock and rough. Hmm. Old head still got the. Ay, 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 ay. 89 degrees here today. It was, I think we reached 90 today. So if it's 90 and I'm this far up north, I know down south, boy, y'all motherfuckers, woo, boy. It's 89 right now. It was 90 degrees earlier, bro. I know if we hot, y'all hot. Motherfuckers up here, they not used to no fucking 90 degrees. Everybody's striking.
Hyundai Elantra versus Honda Civic. Hyundai Elantra wins every time. Lease a 2023 Hyundai Elantra for $229 a month with new inventory arriving daily. Visit buyhyundai.com.
Man, I feel good. Could be the food of me, or these toys to get my mind right. Or maybe it's Petco keeping me healthy for less money. Oh, a bird.
Better quality pet care for less human money. Get up to 50% off during our clearance event at Petco.
Hello folks, today is Friday, July 28th, 2023. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that's been going on this week.
Jake Baldino.
I'm out of breath. Are you good? Am I good? Are we good?
You good?
We're good. Let's talk about the video game news that's been going on this week. Coffee is hitting. The first thing we gotta talk about is Insomniac working on another game. Yeah, not just Spider-Man 2, which is upcoming, and of course the Wolverine game, which I want to hear more about. No, there's apparently a third project in the works, and this comes from a resurfaced interview with a project director at Insomniac, newly hired. This interview, though, should note, is from 2022, but they mentioned in that interview with Full Sail University that they are working on a project that they can't talk about, an unannounced title. So there's that. Let the speculation run rampant. Who knows? A lot of people are pointing to job postings and hirings from Insomniac over the last couple of years with multiplayer-focused experience required. So a lot of people are thinking that this is Insomniac's multiplayer game that they're working on, and I would love to see what the hell that's going to be. Is it going to be a new IP? Is it going to be based on a Marvel thing? Who knows? I still personally would like to see Insomniac make sure that they have time to work on stuff that isn't just Marvel stuff, and I say that as a superhero fan, but I'm curious to see what this is, if this is definitely some other secret project in the works, like, you know, this may have been alluded to. What the hell can it possibly be? I want to know what you guys think in the comments, though. Do you even think that that is the case? Maybe it was like a flub. This is all the official word we have. It's not even really official, but still. The multiplayer thing does make sense, though, just because Sony has been ramping up multiplayer initiatives so much. They've talked about doing live service type stuff, but trying to find new ways to do that instead of just the typical way. So it makes sense to leverage some of their best studios to make an attempt. Now, we might as well stick with Sony news here and just keep it going because I don't know if you saw this week, but the Sony handheld actually leaked. Their Project Q that was announced a couple of months back, the handheld streaming device. It seems like somebody got their hands on it. It's pretty much exactly what you expect. Kind of looks like a little plasticky Android tablet with DualSense controllers on the side, and yeah, not too much really revealed from it. They did do kind of a teardown. Some people thought there was an SD card slot on it. It doesn't seem like that is the case. That wouldn't really make sense, but it's just a streaming device, which I personally am actually into. For the price they're seemingly offering it, no. Like a lot, a couple $100. Yeah, I thought it was like 300 bucks. Yeah, it's very much a thing. You need specifically a PlayStation 5 to take advantage of this because you're going to be like streaming it. So hopefully your home network is good or whatever network you're using is good because that's all this thing can really do. There is probably a market for it for some people. More options are better, of course, more ways to play your games on your preferred platform, but the price seems to be a little expensive. We're just talking about this and this leak right now. We'll probably do a before you buy video on it. We'll get our hands on it. Sony won't send it to us early or anything like that, but we'll buy it, check it out, and let you guys know what we think when this actually does come out. Next up, the Diablo 4 Battle Pass controversy, that whole thing. There has been some issues with Diablo 4 lately. First with a patch that nerfed a lot of characters and really turned a lot of players off. I think we've talked about that a little bit. But also now this Battle Pass is causing issues for some players. According to players with issues, Diablo's Battle Pass actually doesn't give enough of the platinum currency for the cheapest item in the store. On the Diablo 4 Reddit, the Battle Pass gives 666 platinum, but the cheapest item in the store is 800 platinum. And it's not even enough to apparently pay for the Battle Pass for Season 2. So there's like a whole thing with Battle Passes and how they're supposed to work, and like there's a way that people actually like them. I find all this shit annoying, but it's a way to keep playing. But it seems like here Activision Blizzard has finally pulled out their Activision Blizzard card. The launch was pretty cool. I really loved the base game, but now that things have kind of started turning, it seems like they're making some missteps. So I think it's important to talk about it. As much as I haven't kept up with this new stuff, I haven't even been able to experience the newer patch because I played a shit ton of it at launch and bounced off. So I'm not like irate yet or anything, but I think it is important to talk about this stuff, link people's complaints in the description down below, and kind of keep Activision Blizzard accountable, because like I said, the base of the game was really cool, really liked it, and now they're starting to become Activision Blizzard without it. Oh, and also there was a whole thing that pissed people off where the button to activate Premium Battle Pass is right next to the button you actually have to press all the time to like check your season on the pass. So there's that, just weird little design choices, just things that piss people off, and things that, you know, players need to vocalize. Activision Blizzard has been pretty upfront, even with like the patch and everything. They have since come out and said like, hey, we're gonna fix that, but I think we still need to just keep an eye on that stuff. Next up, I got some cool things linked in the description down below for you guys. The first is an in-depth, pretty lengthy gameplay video of Lords of the Fallen, and this looks sweet. I am so burnt on Souls-like games at this point after Elden Ring and everything, but like I just look at this one and I'm like, all right, maybe I'll jump back in. This looks really, really cool. The art style, the character designs, the enemy designs, all of it is just hitting. It's really cool that they like took what they did with the first game, but then just went absolutely buck wild with it. Oh, and then last week, because we recorded the Friday show earlier on Friday, we didn't get to talk about the Mortal Kombat 1 trailer. They showed more story trailer, more character reveals, and more of just how different this Mortal Kombat world is, how kind of alternate history, kind of House of M type thing going on. Really cool, and also they revealed their character roster for like the DLC packs, the character packs. So all the leaks and rumors were true. It's Homelander, which is awesome. It's Peacemaker, John Cena, and Omni-Man, which is really cool. His character design looks very, very cool, considering it's like translating a cartoon to a person. Seems pretty faithful. Also, they confirmed that J.K. Simmons is doing the voice, which is great. Are we rushing or are we dragging? Let's go. Also,
You up for playing outside the lines?
You do it quiet and you do it clean.
If your cover is blown, you have to save yourself.
So Telltale is technically back now. In case you missed it, their game based on The Expanse is now out. I haven't really seen too many reactions to it yet. I think review code went out late, so the reactions are going to kind of all be at once. But yeah, Telltale back doing their thing, and with such a big sci-fi property such as The Expanse that everybody loves, I've never even experienced an inch of, because I guess I just live under a rock. I don't got time for shows, I'm too busy playing video games. But yeah, check that out if you want to. And again, all these trailers are linked in the description, including a trailer, this came out of left field, but Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. Yeah, they're making another one with more characters, more stages, apparently like some updated graphics and stuff like that. And Jimmy Neutron is in it. And I love that. Love to see it. Our king keeps winning. Also, I wanted to share this. Thank you so much to some of you guys who sent me this on social media. Like, you sent it to me on like Twitter and even Threads. Or whatever Twitter's called, whatever. Yeah, thank you guys for sending me this. This is a Max Payne 3 mod. It's available on Nexus Mods. It's by Alex Savvy. And essentially, this replaces Max Payne's head model with a Sam Lake face. Like, it's a return to the classic Max Payne 1 face, which is really, really cool. It is incredibly well done. The screenshots and images of seeing him in the game just absolutely work perfectly. It really works for me for Max Payne flashback sequences, even though technically he wouldn't be wearing the Max Payne 1 outfit, because those events still presumably would have taken place after Max Payne 2, so he would look a little older. I'm nitpicking, okay? But you get to play as cool classic Max Payne 1, and then that face carries over into 3 where he shaves his head. It's cool. It's cool, man. I don't know what they're going to do when they remake Max Payne 1 and 2, what they're going to do with the face stuff, but I like to see this. And even Remedy's Sam Lake signed off on this. He endorsed this. He said, hey, this is awesome. And you love to see it. Modders are incredible. When people love shit, they will do amazing things. Also, some bummer news, unfortunately. You may not have seen this, but CD Projekt Red announced that they are laying off about 10% of their workforce. That is absolutely massive, and that should be acknowledged. That is a big series of layoffs for a studio that, you know, despite the missteps with Cyberpunk 2077, has still been technically crushing. I mean, The Witcher 3 is a sales juggernaut. Cyberpunk 2077 has revamped. The anime bolstered sales, the patches, there's just expansion coming, and yet they still had to lay off a significant chunk of their workforce. So we wish them well. The churn is real, and it's unfortunate. And along with that, it seems like there's more stuff swirling about the fact that there was an Immortals Phoenix Rising 2 that was canceled, with Ubisoft saying that they were kind of reallocating resources and stuff like that. And that is an absolute bummer, because I thought Immortals Phoenix Rising was awesome. And the rumors since like last year were suggesting that this was going to be kind of like a Polynesian mythology thing, which is something that we haven't seen in video games a lot. You know, they would jump from Greek mythology to interpreting something else. Man, there was so much potential, and I don't know if people were just tired of Ubisoft games. Like, apparently Phoenix Rising didn't like sell terribly or anything like that, but I guess they're just doubling down on their other IP right now. Oh, and then of course, some Armored Core 6 updates for you. Previews have dropped. A lot of people have gotten their hands on the game. It's very interesting that Bandai Namco is actually reaching out to content creators and press specifically that are known as the Dark Souls people, you know, the FromSoft experts. So it's like they're leveraging their existing fan base to create interest for another game that they're making that is completely different. Armored Core 6 is a very different beast from a Dark Souls game, but I think that's really cool, and the previews are very interesting. People are coming away very positive, so I will link some of those in the description down below, as well as some details, including, it seems like it's definitely going to have PvP, and it's going to be up to 6 players. That's, you know, typical Armored Core style stuff. And also, the campaign is expected to be
Welcome to Mordstead, a prominent region within the vast and sprawling world of Lords of the Fallen. In today's extended gameplay walkthrough, we are sharing an exclusive look at just some of the diverse and harrowing...
Hello folks, today is
awakened.
Infamous handler Walter's hounds. Interesting. You ready to climb the wall?
Call sign Raven. Priority subject for termination. High on the list.
A call was sent from the generator. Watch out.
Why hide behind another call sign?
Let's see how far they can fly. On borrowed wings.
I pay with my credit card, and then Melio sends you a check. Or a bank transfer. Your choice.
When I did this business, we didn't have payment solutions like Melio. This week, the biggest news in the tech world was that Twitter has officially rebranded to X, and pretty much everybody on the planet can't understand why. The X team seemingly threw away 17 years of brand equity in the Twitter name. I sort of understand why they did this, but it's a whole rabbit hole for a different day. We also learned this week that aliens probably exist.
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And people have been freaking out by whatever the heck this trend is.
It's my birthday! No!
But that's not why you tune into this channel. You come here to learn about all the AI news. And this week there was some serious AI news, so let's go ahead and break it down right now. At the end of last week, a statement was released on the White House website stating that the Biden-Harris administration secures voluntary commitments from leading artificial intelligence companies to manage the risks posed by AI. Amazon, Anthropic, Google, Inflection, Meta, Microsoft, and OpenAI all voluntarily committed to practice safe AI. The leaders of these companies all promised to ensure products are safe before introducing them to the public, build systems that put security first, and earn the public's trust. And shortly after this White House announcement came out, one by one, each one of these companies dropped an announcement on their own websites about the Frontier Model Forum. This is an industry body focused on ensuring safe and responsible development of frontier AI models. The core objectives of this forum: advance AI safety research to promote responsible development of frontier models, minimize risks and enable independent, standardized evaluations of capabilities and safety, identify best practices for the responsible development and deployment of frontier models, helping the public understand the nature, capabilities, limitations, and impact of the technology, collaborating with policymakers, academics, civil society, and companies to share knowledge about trust and safety risks, and supporting efforts to develop applications that can help meet society's greatest challenges. This is OpenAI's statement from their blog, but if you read the statement on Microsoft's blog, it pretty much says the same thing. And again, if you read the statement over on Google's blog, yeah, pretty much the same message. Anthropic also released a similar message over on their blog, but they refuse to mention the other companies by name. If I do a quick search, you can see Google, not mentioned. Microsoft, not mentioned. And OpenAI, not mentioned. From my perspective, basically what this is all of these companies are coming together to make sure that they align on safety, but it's also kind of them getting in the good graces of the government so that the government doesn't try to over-regulate them. They'll say, no, we'll all come together and work together and regulate ourselves. So while, yes, AI regulations are incoming, these regulations are most likely going to be designed by the people that are building the AI models. Also, the same day that the White House made their announcement, OpenAI's head of trust and safety, Dave Wilner, stepped down from the company. I feel like a lot of the media tried to make this out like Dave Wilner was stepping down because he had conflicts with the way that OpenAI handled trust and safety, but in reality, he was just stepping down because OpenAI was growing so fast and he was spending so much time working that he wasn't spending enough time with his family. Instead of actually being an employee of OpenAI, he's moving to an advisory role of OpenAI. So he's not totally leaving OpenAI, he's just stepping down from that specific role. But of course, most media outlets are going to sensationalize everything and make you think this is a really big deal. Also, at the end of last week, Stability AI released Free Willy, their large and mighty instruction fine-tuned models. It gets the Free Willy name because it was inspired by the Orca paper about progressive learning from complex explanation traces of GPT-4. This model leverages the Llama 2 70B foundation model and at the moment is only available under a non-commercial license. In these various benchmarks like ARC, HeliSwag, MMLU, and Truthful QA, Free Willy 2 actually performed almost as good as ChatGPT. And if you have no idea what ARC, HeliSwag, MMLU, or Truthful QA are, don't worry, neither did I. I literally had to look it up before making this video. These are essentially like quizzes that they use on these chat bots to test how accurate the bots are. So when giving these various tests that sort of have different focuses in different areas, they'll score differently. So in this ARC test, ChatGPT outscored Free Willy, where in this HeliSwag test, Free Willy actually outscored ChatGPT 3. If you'd like to test Free Willy 2 for yourself, there are a few Hugging Face spaces available where you can give it a shot. Just go to Spaces, search Free Willy 2, and there's a very basic user interface. And if you really know what you're doing, the files are also available over on Hugging Face for people to run and experiment with themselves. Personally, this is above my level of expertise, and I would have no clue how to run these myself, but maybe something I'll dig into deeper in a future video. This week, the godfather of AI, Geoffrey Hinton, made a claim that he thinks that AI has or will eventually have emotions. Hinton is one of the original AI researchers, and he worked on AI with Google for a long time before recently stepping down from his position at Google because of fears that AI will be used for mass fake news and autonomous weapons. At a talk that he gave at King's College, when asked if AI systems have emotions, he said, "I think they could well have feelings. They won't have pain the way you do unless we want it, but things like frustration and anger, I don't see why they shouldn't have those." emotions. Now, one thing I'm fairly certain doesn't have emotions are all of these cool AI video tools that we've been getting access to lately. Recently, Runway ML announced that with Gen 2, we can now use image prompts to generate videos. So if I log into my Runway ML account, you can see that there is now an image to video option here. If I click on this, I can take this image that I recently generated in Leonardo and pull it into Runway, and if I leave this prompt blank, it will try to animate this image. And here's what it generated for us. You can see the woman's actually looking around and the light changes on her. Now, it's only generating 4 seconds right now, but if you watched my previous video where I talked about Gen 2 a little bit, what you can actually do is take the very last frame of your video here, take a screenshot of it, and then take that screenshot as your starting image for your next video and start to string together a longer and longer video using the last frame of every single 4-second video. Realistically, you can make much longer videos, and I imagine it's only a matter of time before tools like Gen 2 build that into the workflow, where it just takes that last frame and then continues the video for you. Now, whenever I do an example like this, people always say, well, that worked with an AI image. Does it work with real images as well? Here's a silly headshot of myself that I give out when people ask for headshots when I go on podcasts and stuff. Let's pull this in and generate with that. Now, one thing I did notice is that if I also add a text prompt, it changes the image completely. When you add a text prompt, it uses your image almost as like inspiration for the video, but it doesn't use it as sort of the starting frame for the video like you want it to. So if you actually want it to animate the specific image that you upload, you need to leave the prompt blank. And here's what it generated using my face. Oh wow, it really just changed the way I look. That's kind of creepy. But that's what it does when I uploaded my own headshot. This week, Kyber, one of my other favorite AI video tools, announced text to animation. Now, they specifically asked me not to show off the user interface yet because the interface is going to change, but I'm going to enter the prompt, samurai holding a sword, ready to fight with the sunset behind him. And check this out. Here's the video that it generated. It only generated a 1-second clip, but I mean, it's pretty impressive. And let's just keep on rolling with cool AI video generators. This is one I haven't talked about in a little while on this channel, but plasmapunk.com just added the new SDXL and Kandinsky 2.2 models inside of their platform. And I've always really loved the videos that Plasmapunk generates. So let's walk through the process real quick here just for fun. Let's pick a song. Let's go with Rebellious. Let's go with this Klein Sealer here. I'm sure I butchered that name. I'll just go ahead and use the little recommended section here for the music. Now it looks like to use one of these newer models here, it is a premium paid feature, but somehow I have 60 credits available, so maybe you get 60 credits when you first sign up, and then you need to pay beyond that. But being totally honest, I don't exactly know how that works. But let's go ahead and try Stable Diffusion XL and 16.9, and let's click Next. I'll go ahead and use this sci-fi digital one that it's recommending. I'll click Next, and then it asks for a prompt for the video style, future punk, cyberpunk city, highly detailed painting, and then some of these artists. This was actually the default prompt that it suggested, so let's just see how it goes. For the video story, this video is about a man standing in front of a pub in the rain holding an umbrella, or you can also give it some song lyrics. Let's go ahead and use this one that it sort of gave me by default. Looks like it's going to cost me 19 credits out of my 60. Let's go ahead and click generate and see what we get. And here's what I got out of it. Now I'm not going to play the full 20 seconds, but I'll toss it up on my Instagram if you want to take a look. Let's just keep on moving. Now I know a lot of people that watch these videos are content creators like me, where they watch my videos to stay up to date with how to leverage AI for their own businesses or careers. Like me, you love to find new and unique ways to use AI and the latest tech to create things that wow people, and to do it quicker than previously possible. So for this video, I partnered with HubSpot to get their latest free ebook into your hands. It's called Using Generative AI to Scale Your Content Operations. With this ebook, you'll learn about the tools and the specific prompts that you can use to generate ideas, research content, break through writer's block, create powerful visuals, and even help to market your content to get more eyeballs on it. I especially found the section about staying in Google's good graces even while using AI-generated content particularly helpful. because, well, I rank for a lot of great keywords for my Future Tools website, and a lot of content on my Future Tools website is actually generated with AI. So I think you'll find it super helpful as well. I put the link to download the free ebook in the description below, and thanks again to HubSpot for sponsoring this video and providing this free resource to the viewers. Now let's jump back into the news. This week, Microsoft's Bing Chat comes to Chrome and Safari in tests for select users. Basically, making Bing Chat only available inside of Edge was one of Microsoft's ways of trying to get more people to go use Edge. Well, it seems like now they just want more people to use Bing Chat, whether they're using Edge or not. So they're making it available inside of other browsers. I checked to see if I got it, and it says only available in Microsoft Edge. So it doesn't appear they've given me access yet. Don't they know who I am? I don't know why I just did that. Here's some interesting news. If you remember a few months back, OpenAI released their own AI detector, where you can copy and paste text from any article or website, and it would tell you whether it thought it was generated by AI or not. Well, it turns out it really wasn't too accurate, and OpenAI shut it down without really telling anybody. Back in January, they released this blog post, New AI Classifier for Indicating AI Written Text. They launched the tool on January 31st, 2023, and the only announcement about it being shut down is back on this original blog post. As of July 20th, 2023, the AI classifier is no longer available due to its low rate of accuracy. In other ChatGPT news, ChatGPT is now available for Android users. The mobile app was previously only available on iPhone. This week they finally rolled it out to Android users. When the announcement came out, it was only available in US, India, Bangladesh, and Brazil. However, today, inside of OpenAI's Discord, they announced that the ChatGPT app for Android is now also available in Argentina, Canada, France, Germany, Indonesia, Ireland, Japan, Mexico, Nigeria, the Philippines, the UK, and South Korea. So now quite a few more countries have access to the app on Android. This week, Sam Altman announced WorldCoin. WorldCoin is designed to help differentiate between humans and not humans, I suppose. WorldCoin consists of a privacy-preserving digital identity, a World ID, and where laws allow, a digital currency, or the WLD coin. You receive these coins simply for being human. To prove that you're a human, you visit an orb, or a biometric verification device, and once you've verified your humanity, you receive a World ID. This lets you prove that you are a real and unique person online while remaining completely private. Curious what an orb looks like? Well, here's one right there. And I promise that's not me in the reflection there, even though it kind of looks like me. Now, if you're willing to verify that you're a human and not an AI, you'll receive a World ID and 25 of the crypto tokens that come along with it. Insider describes it this way. The orb's camera lens scans your face and iris for about 10 seconds and then beeps to confirm that you're a person rather than a robot. It'll then beep again once it has added you to the WorldCoins database. They also describe it this way. It was reminiscent of the photo ID checkers you'd find at an airport, only instead of staring at a screen, you're made to look into a vaguely terrifying miniature Death Star. However, they do say during the process they weren't required to hand over names, email addresses, or phone numbers. It's just proof of humanity. More than 2 million people have already signed up for the project, but I'm still somewhat unclear of what the tokens will be used for. However, this article claims that universal basic income is something that the OpenAI founder has hinted could be one of WorldCoin's future applications. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm curious. Would you let one of these orbs scan your eyes? Also this week, the CEO of Spotify, Daniel Ek, talked about potential AI capabilities on Spotify. Now, Spotify already has an AI DJ that can give you some information about a song, but it sounds like they're planning on using these AI-generated voices in part of the advertising platform as well. And Daniel Ek and Spotify have even filed for a patent for an AI-powered text-to-speech synthesis system, which is interesting because there are already so many tools that use this sort of technology. But I know little to nothing about patent law. If you're looking to get a job in AI, maybe think about going to Netflix. Netflix is offering up to $900,000 for a single AI product manager role. The timing of this feels very interesting, seeing as all of the writers are on strike in Hollywood, all of the actors are on strike in Hollywood, and Netflix is out there saying, we need somebody to run our AI platform. We're willing to offer up to $900,000 to have somebody help us build better AIs for Netflix. So if you've watched that Black Mirror episode of Joan is Awful, they're looking for the person who's going to come in and actually build that technology for real for them. Most likely. I'm just guessing. I don't know what I'm talking about. This week, Amazon held their AWS Summit in New York, and the topic of the event was mostly about AI. However, most of what they talked about is completely over my head, and it seemed like most of their announcements were geared towards engineers who knew what they were talking about. One thing I do know about, though, is that they are using more NVIDIA H100 GPUs inside of their cloud computers, making it easier and faster for models to be trained on Amazon's cloud computers. Also at the event, they announced Agents for Amazon Bedrock, which gives developers the capability to create fully managed agents in a few clicks. Now, when they talk about agents, they're referring to AI applications that can perform multiple tasks and even do API calls to other services to continue to complete tasks. If you remember a few months back, we were talking about things like Baby AGI and various AI agents where you give it a task that you want it to complete, and then it figures out what subtasks it needs to complete to get to that end goal of the final task. And it seems like with this announcement, Amazon's Bedrock has some of that tech built into it. Also this week, a whole bunch of news publishers are coming together to try to sue the various AI companies for billions of dollars. Companies like IAC, the New York Times, News Corp, and Axel Springer are very close to forming a coalition to fight AI companies that use their data to train the models without consent. They claim that search was designed to find the best of the internet. These large language models, or generative AI, are designed to steal the best of the internet. These news corporations are claiming that the value that they've been collected is running into the billions of dollars across the industry. Now, nothing has totally come from this yet. This is sort of an announcement of a potential announcement, but news companies right now aren't very happy with the various AI platforms. All right, let's talk about some more fun stuff that's come out this week. This week, Stability AI announced SDXL 1.0. We've had SDXL 0.9 for a little bit now. They're finally ready to release the full 1.0 version, which boasts much more realistic images and also the ability to add text into the image. They also claim that you can use simpler language, so you don't need to necessarily be a prompt engineer to get amazing images out of it. You should be able to use simple prompts to get quality outputs. Like they've done with the previous releases, they did make it available over on ClipDrop for us to play around with. So supposedly they're much more photorealistic and they work much better with using words. So let's test out an image that uses both. A photorealistic woman standing on the beach holding a sign that says Future Tools. This one almost got the sign right. I'm not sure how realistic this woman looks. Here's another image that it gave me. This is probably the best one so far, although it does say Future Tools. And I'm not quite sure this is like a half skirt, half jean shorts that says Future Tools. Here's some of the examples that they give. I want to see if I can generate a prompt similar to this one, because this one actually looks pretty good. Photo of a brooding, serious, bearded, old, I'm assuming the word man was in there as well somewhere. These are much better generations in my opinion. They definitely still have almost like a painting or digital art look to them. I wouldn't say they're super realistic, but it's definitely a huge improvement over what we were getting out of the previous SDXL models. Now, before anybody jumps into the comments and starts saying I'm prompting it incorrectly, this is just my first impression of it. This is literally the first time I've tried SDXL 1.0. I didn't test it prior to this recording, so I'm sure there's all sorts of other prompting tricks and ways to get much better images out of it. I just wanted to show off the fact that it's available. You can go use it for free right now over at clipdrop.co. I'll link it up below, and you can probably figure out all sorts of cool ways to generate amazing images with it. And finally, the day that I'm recording this video, which is Thursday, the Adobe Photoshop beta version just rolled out a new feature called Expand. Now, if you have Adobe Creative Cloud or you have just Adobe Photoshop by itself, this only works in the beta version. So if you go go to the Creative Cloud app, make sure you're running Photoshop Beta and not the normal version of Photoshop, because the AI stuff is still in beta. But basically what this allows us to do is we can pull an image into Photoshop. I'll pull this jellyfish image in that I made in Leonardo in one of my previous videos. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and then if I come up here to the crop tool, I can actually crop to a bigger size here like this, and then there's a new button that says Generative Expand. In fact, let's set it on 16:9 just to expand it to a fairly standard size, try to center my image somewhat, and now I can click Generative Expand, leave this blank, and click Generate, and it will try to fill in the gaps for me. And look at that, it just built on that existing image that I just had. Now, previously, you were able to do that by doing a selection. This just kind of saves us a few steps and lets us expand it, and it does give us 3 options. There's another option, and there's another option. And I can expand once again. Let's go ahead and pull this out this way, pull this down further this way, and see how it expands it even further. And here's an option, here's an option, and here's an option. I think that one looks pretty dang cool. So it started with this image here, expanded to this, expanded to this. I'd say that's pretty sweet. I also came across this Twitter video here from Howard Pinsky, where he shows that he actually pulled a video into Photoshop and it worked on his video. Now, if you are going to do this with video, you got to make sure you got it on a tripod so that the framing stays consistent, but they use this little trick in Photoshop Beta to actually generate a video with expanded borders. Now anything can be easily transitioned into a TikTok or reel-sized video. Woo! What a week. That's all I got for you. Hopefully you learned something new. You found out about some cool stuff that you didn't know was happening. If you like this kind of video, give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to this channel. I put out new videos about what's going on in AI every single Friday and try to put some other cool tutorials and experiments throughout the week as well. And I do my best to help people leverage all of the latest advancements in AI technology and tools. Also, if you haven't already, check out futuretools.io. This is where I curate all the latest cool tools that I come across. I keep the AI news section up to date pretty much every single day. It's one of the most up-to-date resources on AI news on the entire internet. And if you don't want to keep up with it on a daily basis, you just want a weekly TLDR, join the free newsletter. And once a week, I'll just break down the top level, what you need to know about the coolest tools and the most important news that happened in AI for the week. I also share a handful of YouTube videos with you and one cool way to make money with AI. I send it every single Friday. You can find it over at futuretools.io and click on Join the Free Newsletter. Once again, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Thank you so much to HubSpot for sponsoring this video. These sponsors really help me keep this channel going and allow me to make it my full-time job to stay in the loop with the latest AI news and AI tools. So HubSpot, you're awesome. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you for watching this video and wanting to stay up to date with the latest news and AI technology. I just love nerding out about this stuff, and I love that there's so many other people out there like you that love nerding out about it with me. So thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
Dogs like us, oh, we can smell a good deal.
Welcome to what may very well be one of the most important videos we've ever made. Now, in order to even begin this video, I must first establish this disclaimer. This video is a set of hypotheses, an exploration of the world. And while many ideas will be explored, what we are sharing here is not meant to be taken as definitive truth. We're not claiming this is entirely made up of facts. Rather, we are attempting to explore a deeper, perhaps darker, area of human consciousness and see the bigger picture of what is really going on. Please have your own experience, do your own research, and don't be afraid to go deeper down the rabbit hole. For the truth is often stranger than fiction. There's no denying that the collective human consciousness is in quite of a pickle today. It is chaotic and overtaking itself and all of nature. Because of the internet, we have nearly real-time access to information, and yet most people are only seeing a particular slice of the story. For example, the algorithms behind what you find when you use Google, Facebook, YouTube, and almost every other social network are designed to show you what you're already looking for, or what the computer code thinks you want to see based on other people's behavior. Unless you're actively searching for new information, to find something different, or follow someone who is creating content that is going down rabbit holes and sharing what they find, what you get is generally what you're already accustomed to seeing. You only see what you want to see. Further, due to the controversial nature of many ideas, especially those labeled as conspiracy theories, many ideas are not explored by the masses, because when they hear about it, they see that these ideas are ridiculed, and they write them off as nonsense or dangerous extremism. Following the herd mentality makes it easier to dismiss exploring new ideas, so people can easily go along with their lives. This is critical, because the ability to change one's belief changes your experience of life, and most people are happy just letting things be as they are. A minority of people are compelled to seek higher truth at all cost, and certainly most of us know that sometimes it can be very hard to empathize with those who choose comfort over following their passions. As the saying goes, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, and trying to convince others to think differently only leads to distress on everyone's part. As many ancient texts will suggest, this is not how true wisdom is passed on. This creates a sort of self-created deception and distraction from the bigger picture, which is rarely explored. If you're already familiar with spirit science, we've talked before about how everything is connected. This was even a fundamental part of my own awakening, where I had a transcendent experience that all things were one, unified and stemming from and linking to a singular greater whole. Yet today, and the struggle of human consciousness, is that most people are not seeing it, simply not looking, or not even wanting to look. In modern science today, there are many scientists searching for an all-pervading theory of everything, something that unifies quantum mechanics and the theories of relativity. And so today, we respectfully present to you the conspiracy theory of everything. I invite you to watch this with the intention of self-reflection, for as is the nature of consciousness itself, pointing the finger and blaming others only creates more of the same cycle that we've been trapped in. Liberating ourselves from the illusion is the only way to really break free of the shackles that bind us to our lower state of being. Conspiracy theory of everything begins first with the demiurge. The demiurge is an ancient Greek and Gnostic concept describing a consciousness that is considered to essentially be the creator of the physical universe, but not the supreme creative force behind all things. A good way to explore this idea is through the Matrix, a science fiction story that suggests everything we think we know of as the real world is nothing but an illusion, a false world within which most are imprisoned, unable to effectively identify what is real. As people go about their day-to-day lives, they think that their world is authentic, but that every individual is truly plugged into an artificial reality severed from the real world. While people suffer, there is a tremendous benefit to the ruling overlords, who in the film were a form of AI. As it relates to us, this AI is in essence the Demiurge. The Demiurge was described as a force, a deity, or a consciousness who was responsible for the creation of the physical world and reality. However, in a way, it had imposed itself over top of the true reality, the supreme oneness that created all things. In this, it was a false god who had assumed authority over the world, masking the living beings, namely us, from the supreme truth, the highest order of creation, and making us believe that what we experienced as real, the physical reality that we are a part of, was the true, authentic reality, even though it wasn't. Depending on the school and belief of different Gnostic sects, the Demiurge was either seen as something malevolent, deliberately trying to deceive us, or something that was simply ignorant or misguided of its place in the universe and the rest of creation, which led to us becoming lost in the illusion as a result. Said in simple terms, the Demiurge was the force behind the physical universe, but within our consciousness, so long as we perceived that which is physical to be real, we were slaves to the illusion of the false, or at least incomplete, reality. To that end, these ancient people, at least those who were part of the ancient mystery schools, believed that the physical reality was an illusion. They sought to liberate themselves from the illusion of reality through varying spiritual practices, from meditation to plant medicine ceremonies and everything in between, in order to connect with higher realms of existence and break free of the false world by finding the truth, the supreme oneness within. This is because even the Demiurge and the physical universe still stemmed from the supreme oneness, and the light of truth could be found within. Known to the Gnostics as Sophia, meaning wisdom in Greek, it was the act of awakening this divine spark within us that would return us to the higher realms, which became the ultimate goal of many Gnostic schools. This is where we find the roots of enlightenment and light concepts from around the world, which teach that within this world of suffering, we can release ourselves from the illusion through various forms of mastery and self-discipline, both physical, emotional, and mental. This, of course, takes considerable effort and intention to do so. In essence, transcendent people do what is hard, and that's why their lives are easy. People in suffering do what is easy, and that's why their lives are hard. Fast forward to today, there is a tremendous volume of voices from across the internet, exploring ideas, concepts, and sharing a metric buttload of memes. But amidst the voices of the masses, we find a new concept emerging and being discussed in scientific and even some mainstream circles. An idea that proposes that the entire universe as we know of is actually a hologram or a simulation of some kind. Scientifically speaking, if we look at the cosmos from the perspective of quantum mechanics, there is a general acknowledgement that we really don't understand the universe like we thought we did. We are seeing the building blocks of the universe, the subatomic particles, the waves, behaving in ways that do not make sense in the context of classical mechanics, which reveal discrepancies in the laws of physics. Yet, the laws of physics still stand and apply in a practical sense when talking about our macroscopic world. But the fabric of the reality that we live in operates by rules that we have yet to uncover. The holographic universe seems in principle to be very much like how you might expect a movie and a projector to work in tandem. When you watch a movie, you enjoy it linearly, going through it one frame at a time, usually at 24, 30, or 60 frames per second. The stories on the screen follow a narrative of some kind, and generally speaking, there are definite laws that make up the universe you are experiencing in the film. Yet, the quantum world, on the other hand, is like being able to observe the entire roll of film timelessly at any point, which includes zooming in on individual frames, playing things backwards, forwards, the sequels and prequels, all at the same time. The particles and waves that make up our reality are nonlinear and could potentially imply notions of retrocausality. And while they too follow their own set of laws, they are different from the world we exist in at a macro level. Another example of this is found in computer code. What you are seeing on your computer or phone screen at any given time is a filtered projection of what is really going on underneath the surface, designed to be easy for you to interpret. Yet, under the surface of these machines, there is a computer language that is incomprehensible to nearly everyone. Languages like binary and machine code are too simple to make complex algorithms effectively in. Instead, programmers use higher-level languages designed to be understood by humans to write code that is then translated into the lower, base-level machine code and then binary at the bottom. What you are seeing when you look at your phone or computer monitor ultimately comprises mountains of ones and zeros that lay under the surface of the digital world, just like what is under the surface of our own reality. You might be familiar with the ancient wisdom teaching, as above, so below, a concept that applies on several levels, describing that which exists in higher realities is a mirror of lower ones. So as with machine code and binary, ultimately all of that computational code is equal to and actively creates the digital experience on your devices. But they are two entirely different paradigms. This is the great challenge of modern science today, unifying quantum mechanics and general relativity, because we are unable to comprehend yet how the physical world and tangible substance, continuity, gravity, life, time, and consciousness emerge from this flux field of quantum information, which appears to operate by an entirely different set of laws related to statistics and probability. Yet, like with machine code and computers, are they really so different? The question then becomes, as many are theorizing today, could our entire reality be nothing more than a simulation? An artificial reality that our consciousness is plugged into? There are some oddities that have been captured on camera that some people believe are glitches in the Matrix. Now maybe these oddities are fake, who knows? But as an example, we do have this curious clip of a bird who is perched in midair without moving before flying away. There was also this news footage from Russia several years ago that someone caught an individual levitating on camera. But when the guy with the camera called out to them, the girl dropped down and ran away. Now again, I'm not trying to say this is hard evidence of a real-life matrix, but it certainly compels curiosity. And this is what it's really all about. Humanity living in the question, in the mystery of life. And these strange occurrences that beg us to ask the question, what is the true nature of reality? Now, on that note, I encourage you to please do your own research and go down these rabbit holes yourself and make up your own mind. In this way, you become a conduit of free thought rather than following in the herd mentality of that which has been established for you by the powers that be and society at large. Even if the laws of physics as we know them today say that this is impossible, levitation or birds perched in midair, we also know that the laws of physics are incomplete. We don't even know how to properly fit gravity into our standard model of physics, and perhaps unlocking these secrets will change everything for us. And this brings us to our primary key, where we begin with our conspiracy theory of everything, the basis from which everything to come will build off of. The demiurge is, in essence, a lesson about the illusion of reality. That the entire world as we conceive it to be is based on what we perceive with our physical senses, which is a limited experience of the totality of that which exists in the whole universe. This idea suggests that the illusion of the cosmos is incomplete, and as long as we believe in only it by itself, we too shall remain incomplete. We are living within a material universe, yes, but there is more to the cosmos than just that. And as long as we choose to believe in this limited reality, we will continue to perpetuate its existence. It is only by embracing that which we don't know and asking the right questions can we break free of the fetters that bind us. In the Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean, there is a great deal of discussion that describes the human soul as a light trapped in the veil of the night, a metaphor suggesting that the night is the illusion of separateness, the soul disconnected from the supreme oneness, or simply trapped in illusions in general. Basically anything that is not the highest truth. It is the unilluminated mind that actively creates the reality that it perceives to be real, and as such, humanity lives out its days in the dark, veiled in the illusion of one's own beliefs, disconnected from any higher reality. This was portrayed excellently in Marvel's Doctor Strange, when Stephen denies anything beyond the material universe, and then is shown a glimpse of the multidimensional nature of reality, that thoughts are things. He is shown that all of us steer the reality field by our conscious intent. But yet, as we become complacent in the creation of our lives, we give up control of the driver's seat. But then the question is, who is driving the ship? Literally anyone and everything else. Carl Jung called it the collective unconscious, the collective mind field of everyone whose thoughts and feelings influence our own very decisions and actions by the concentration of their energetic weight. Whether it be the media, the news, advertisements, what your family or friends tell you, or things that you just happen across on the internet. Ultimately, all of it is processed by our egos, which shape who we think we are as we disconnect further from the nature of our being. So the question then becomes, what is the truth? What is the higher reality? And how do we connect with it? The ancient wisdom teachings describe that the quest for wisdom, or enlightenment, or the true nature of being, is a continuous journey into the unknown, and the illumination that we are active creators of our lives, not simply beholden unto the preconceived patterns that we've been following in. The great truth we must understand about the demiurge is that we are the ones who actively perpetuate its existence by believing in the physical universe as the ultimate reality. Your beliefs shape the reality that you experience, as Dr. Bruce Lipton has demonstrated through his work with the biology of belief. The beliefs and ideas that we hold in our minds can be scientifically proven to affect how our DNA and cells express themselves. If you believe you are a lowlife with nothing going on and will die alone and miserable, guess what kind of life you will lead? If you believe you can change the world, guess what kind of life you will lead? In order to break free of the limitations that we feel are imposed upon us, we must first believe that it's possible to do so. We must open ourselves to a greater truth, a greater reality, one that is beyond the demiurge, and perceive a cosmic truth that forever changes life as we know it. Yet, humanity is not paying attention to messages like this en masse, and there is a reason for it. It is a very significant and critical thing, for this one piece of the puzzle must be resolved in order for humanity to truly advance as a species and break free of illusion collectively.
What's the best kept secret about building a six-figure side hustle? Well, I'm going to answer that question in 30 seconds. Hi, if you don't know who I am, my name is Adam Holland. I'm an entrepreneur that owns
But with that, the mysteries of who's behind all of this aside, how exactly do the world elite control human consciousness? Due to the sheer volume of control mechanisms, here we're going to provide a lighter overview, and you are encouraged to explore these as you see fit. Fear and scarcity. At the highest level of control, fear is one of the most easiest methods to control a population en masse. This is a two-way street that binds the influence from the elite and us together, for we actively perpetuate the problem when we live from fear and scarcity, spreading it around to each other like a nasty virus. Fear can be used to corral people in all manner of directions, to take actions that are not in their best interest, or to give up their power and control to others. Our food. For the most part, all of the food that we're eating today is toxic, designed to subdue our creative energy, making us easily addicted to things that are unhealthy for us. Whether it's processed foods, rich with salt, sugar, and fat, or even our produce, which has been chemically engineered or sprayed with pesticides and herbicides. We can see this with Monsanto, who have actually patented seed and GMO production, disallowed the ancient practice of saving seeds, and ultimately controlled the food supply, but have masked it as providing the world food. We recently published a movie called Healing Your Body with Food, Spirit Science 33, which reveals the truth about food and where it comes from today. So we won't get super deep into it here, because there is a lot to cover. But if you want to go deeper into this, please watch that movie after this one is done. Ultimately though, the bottom line here appears to be that we are what we eat, and most of us eat far too much, and in that consume too many harmful substances. Fluoride in the water. Some have said that fluoride is the metaphorical tears of the New World Order, and that it's their most widely used weapon against us. The idea, in a nutshell, is that governments put fluoride in our water supply in order to negatively affect huge populations and facilitate mass control, whether for financial gain through the health defects that it causes, or for the purpose of disrupting our connection to the spiritual planes. Any quick search of a fluoride conspiracy brings up notions that it calcifies the pineal gland, the organ in our brain that is often linked to consciousness and the third eye. The idea of the pineal gland being linked with consciousness originally came from the French philosopher Descartes, who argued that the interaction between non-local consciousness and the physical world occurred inside of it. If you dig into why water fluoridation began, you find a convoluted, suspicious mess, mostly centering around the aluminum production company Alcoa, who supposedly had a lot of toxic waste to spare that took the form of fluoride as a byproduct of aluminum production. After a single biochemist who was sponsored by them showed in a lab that fluoride affects cavities in rats in 1939, so the story goes, the first public proposal that the U.S. should fluoridate its water supplies were made, not by a doctor, but by an industry scientist. Nowadays, our water is fluoridated in over 24 countries, mostly in the Western world. According to chemist and researcher Charles E. Perkins, who wrote the book The Truth About Water Fluoridation, repeated doses of infinitesimal amounts of fluoride will in time reduce an individual's ability to resist domination by slowly poisoning a certain area of the brain, thus making them submissive to the will of those who wish to govern them. While there are unsupported theories that the Nazis used the chemical in concentration camps, or the USSR in their gulags, the threat of fluoride isn't just a theory. The work of Jennifer Luke in the 90s showed that by old age, the pineal gland contains the same amount of fluoride as teeth, having been calcified as we age. Further, a huge review on fluoride toxicity published by the National Research Council in 2006 reported a range of negative side effects from fluoride, including decreased melatonin production and other effects on normal pineal function, which in turn could contribute to a variety of bad effects in humans. In fact, studies from Harvard and China's Shanghai Health Institute may even have linked fluoride to reduced IQ in children, and even suggest that it could be toxic to a developing brain. As well as being linked to certain types of cancer, it's also been shown to destroy the male reproductive system in rabbits. The bottom line is, the benefit to risk ratio on water fluoridation is unclear due to a lack of good evidence, with most people not even knowing that they're drinking it. If the conspiracy theories are to be believed, professors doing this research have been met with numerous attempts to discredit them. Stephen Peckham, director of the Centre for Health Services at the University of Kent and professor at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine at the University of Toronto, has had his research of water fluoridation rejected from dental health journals. He's even spoken out about being accused of statistics hacking and for research that made the link between fluoride and hypothyroidism. It seems as though someone does not want this info getting out. Entertainment and subliminal messaging. The entertainment industry has been a source of conspiracies for a long time, with often disturbing subliminal messages in children's entertainment, such as references to suicide and sex found in everything from Disney movies to SpongeBob. But it often goes deeper and darker. The entertainment industry, especially Disney, has seen several instances of hiring young children, making them into massive celebrities, making a fortune off of them, and driving them insane. This has also happened with the K-pop industry, with their so-called slave contracts that force the young singers into decades of servitude, having them work endless hour days and running them to the point of exhaustion. There are actually many instances of these young singers collapsing on stage due to exhaustion. This also links back to the conversation of pedophilia networks, for many celebrities have now spoken out about how bad Hollywood really is for pedophilia, including people like Brad Pitt, Elijah Wood, Evan Rachel Wood, and Corey Feldman. The news. The news often perpetuates a story that things are bad and getting worse. There is a consistent theme from the news of toxicity, and as people watch this en masse, we come to believe it, and thus perpetuate it. The people running the news command more attention by spreading this kind of information because bad news gets more attention than positive stories, and therefore, we continue to create this reality. When you are constantly looking at the world in a negative light, you are not looking at your own life. In fact, you don't even know that there is light within you. There is only darkness, shadows, and frightening imagery. And so what happens? But humanity falls further and further into a world of self-created delusion. It's also worth mentioning that even the local news is ultimately both written for and controlled by a unified source, regardless of the network. Just watch this clip, and you'll see how bad it really is.
In our country,
the sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media. Unfortunately, some members of the community use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda control. This is one leading thing, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Mass surveillance. The Medal of Honor for revealing this really goes to Edward Snowden, the whistleblower who brought to the collective attention how the Secret Service of the US and UK governments had the ability to spy on literally everyone, tracking metadata, watching everywhere that you go, and what you're up to. The first program to be revealed was PRISM, which allows for court-approved direct access to Americans' Google and Yahoo accounts and everything in them. Then came Tempora, a British Black Ops surveillance program run by the NSA's British partner, GCHQ. This includes stuff like call databases, numbers, text messages, and even a secret court order requiring Verizon to hand the NSA millions of Americans' phone records daily. One of Snowden's most frightening statements came in 2013, when he explained that by using the X-Keyscore program, I, sitting at my desk, could wiretap anyone, from you or your accountant, to a federal judge or even the president, if I had a personal email. The NSA's top-secret black budget, obtained by Snowden, exposed the successes and failures of over 16 spy agencies comprising the U.S. intelligence community, and revealed that the NSA was paying U.S. private tech companies for clandestine access to their communications networks. All in all, it was revealed that the NSA was harvesting millions of emails and instant messaging contact lists, searching email content, tracking and mapping the location of cell phones, undermining attempts at encryption via Bull Run, and that the agency was using cookies to piggyback on the same tools used by internet advertisers to pinpoint targets for government hacking and to bolster surveillance. And yet, after all of this info being dropped, it has mysteriously disappeared from mainstream discussion. Our belief systems. We do it to ourselves. At some level, we have to take responsibility for ourselves. As easy as it may be to point the finger at the ruling elite, and there's no question, justice must be served, we must also recognize ourselves as a part of the problem through our own beliefs, herd mentality, and lack of mindfulness and unwillingness to strive for wisdom. If we wish to truly be a part of the solution, I know you've heard this before, but it's more serious than ever. Be the change you wish to see in the world. As Bruce Lipton has demonstrated with his groundbreaking work in epigenetics, our very beliefs affect our biological systems in deep and very impactful ways. If we can believe we can live a happy life, then we can. And if we believe that it's impossible, then we actually shut off ourselves and our bodies from receiving and experiencing satisfaction. Further, people will often try and rope their friends into their belief systems in order to validate their own opinions and perspectives. And so what we're dealing with here is a mass field of consciousness that is trying to push its beliefs onto everyone else, and the truth is muddled and lost. Generally speaking, all of this unconsciousness keeps us small, and we do it to ourselves. The collective mindset often appears to lack any interest in education, learning, wisdom, or connecting with truth, and in this may compel us to outrageous levels of stupidity. Now, at some level, we must be able to laugh at ourselves, because humans are notorious for often doing very dumb things. And in today's day and age, these things are often captured on camera and shared for all to see, which fills up Reddit and YouTube channels to no end. For example, scrolling through Reddit's Our What Could Go Wrong channel will bring endless laughter at the ridiculous things that people do every day. Yet, it is also a clear reflection of our lack of ability to generally exercise a higher consciousness on a regular basis. If we really want to evolve, we have to do better. From the very top of the chain to the very bottom, it seems clear that there is a problem. At the beginning of this chapter, we said that there is a sickness running through the underbelly of human consciousness. And while we have explored the idea that this sickness may be perpetuated and inflicted upon us by a demonic consciousness, whether it's sick, twisted psychopaths, a reptilian species, or demonic entities themselves, the truth is that we actively perpetuate it by staying asleep, pessimistic, and disconnected. And such is the nature of this chapter within the conspiracy theory of everything. Upon exploring the spiritual path, we can see that we remain complacent due to the disconnection of our souls. For when we live just from the ego, we live as self-centered, materialistic, pleasure-seeking beings who do not actively perceive or care for the search for anything greater. The soul is the voice of truth, love, and compassion within you, the most authentic and highest version of you. It is the eye of awareness within your heart that connects you to everything, that sees and knows that all things are connected. However, in mass, there are so many who are disconnected from the soul and don't even believe that it exists. Thus, ideas like this are often ridiculed and demeaned by the masses, which further perpetuates the soulless body of human consciousness running rampant, a body of ego. Obviously, this makes it very easy for the elite to control the collective mind using all of the ways that we've explored, because we are not operating from a state of higher collective consciousness. Rather, we are operating as if we are chickens with our heads cut off. Yet, if even but a glimpse of the soul can be seen, which often happens through lucid dreams, near-death experiences, psychedelic experiences, or other personal transformational revelations, an individual is usually changed forever. It is very difficult to go back to the way things were when you suddenly see and experience within that you are a part of something so much greater than yourself, and that your own thoughts, feelings, and actions have a direct impact on the world around you. How can you go back to being ignorant of this once you know a higher truth? We must be mindful that solving this problem must be taken from both ends of the spectrum. Those who are perpetuating the crimes against humanity, the mass manipulation, the pedophiles, the rapists, the murderers, all of them must be brought to justice. However, if we think this will solve all of our problems, we are sorely mistaken. For if we remain asleep and complacent, we remove one leader and a new one just takes its place, and the cycle continues forever. Thus, the other half of the equation is that we must also take it upon ourselves, each of us, to evolve our way of thinking, to heal the connection with our soul, and to be examples of what it means to be virtuous, soulful, and compassionate. But again, this is only still just the beginning, for our journey of waking up also stands in alignment with the evolution of technology and the introduction of new tech that will forever shape the future as we know it. The subject of extraterrestrials has mystified humanity for countless generations. The question of, are we alone in the universe, has inspired us to push forward and advance as a species in the search for life in the great beyond. But to this day, judging by the way people generally treat the subject, it would appear that we have yet to make any form of substantial contact. Yet, the awareness of a deeper truth, that something is being hidden from us, is regularly being leaked to this day. Let's start with some basics, which would be UFOs, which we all know stands for Unidentified Flying Objects, or as they're starting to be called today, UAVs, Unidentified Aerial Vehicles. It was shortly after the 2 atomic bombs went off during World War II that UFO sightings spiked around the world. Hundreds of reports of UFOs began to emerge in the decade that followed the incident, and it was in 1947 in Roswell, New Mexico, that things got really interesting. Reports of a UFO crash landing in the shape of a flying disc inspired tremendous interest in possible alien activity as the U.S. military quickly quarantined and cleaned up the site.
Think about it. Go ahead and get out of here. I talked for too long and made a beat for too long. It was all fun. All fun and games. It was all fun and games. I think it's coming along nicely. Getting wrapped up in all kinds of foil. Alright, gang gang. Yo, I appreciate y'all chilling in here, like always. And I'll catch you next time, bro. Peace.